Hi, everyone, and welcome to ENGL 101 for this summer. This is how you are going to interact with me over the course of this 5-week semester, is through these videos that I'm going to be making. So you'll be watching these videos. There will be quizzes embedded with them to make sure that you do watch the videos, and those quizzes will count towards your actual grade. But this is how I'm going to deliver the information. Instead of us meeting in class, you're going to watch a number of these videos. So the video for today is, I've actually got a couple of parts here for this video. For the first part, I want to talk about policies for the course, as well as talk about the schedule of assignments that we're going to have. And the next part, I'm going to take you through, you'll have to click on a different link for that one. I'm going to take you through and show you how I've organized Blackboard so you can understand how you can access the information assignments for this course. So this is ENGL 101 for the summer of 2023. This is our section number 5FN2. My name is Manuel Manny Martinez. Our classroom, we don't have a classroom, it'll be online, and our time is asynchronous. Asynchronous means that there is not a specific time that you have to log on, right? This is not like we have, a Zoom meeting or any other kind of a online meeting where the entire class gets together. You are going to look at these videos whenever it is that you have the time to do that. So there's no specific class meeting here. You've got my office phone here. And that is a QCC office number, but it rings to my cell phone. I'm here at my house, but if you call this number, it'll ring to my cell phone. We'll talk about that in just a bit. You've got my email here. That's really, really important because that is one of the best ways to keep in touch with me, and I really need you to keep in touch with me. I'll talk about this later, about the different reasons why you're going to need to contact me, various reasons, but you want to make sure that you are contacting me, and that email is the best way to do that. My office hours that I have here are Monday through Thursday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and by appointment. So office hours, as I say down here, during scheduled office hours, I will return phone calls and emails immediately. So from 10 to 11 every day, I'm standing here at the desk. And if you call me on the phone, I'm going to answer that phone right away, and we can talk. I'll also return any emails immediately. An email comes in, I'll send it right back to you. Maybe not immediately, because I might be on the phone, but pretty quickly I'll email you back. So those are my office hours. And you can contact me at other times. You can always email me. I just won't email back immediately. And then if you call me when it's not my office hours, I won't answer the phone. Sometimes people will call me at like 9 o'clock at night. I'm getting ready for bed. I go to bed early. So I'm not going to answer the phone then. So I will only answer the phone between 10 and 11 and by appointment. And so if 10 to 11 Monday through Thursday does not work for you, you can definitely send me an email and say, hey, I want to have a phone conversation. Can we talk at 2 o'clock on Thursday? I'm probably available then. I'll say sure, and I'll set it up in my schedule. And if you call me then, I'm going to answer the phone. But if you don't give me a heads up and call me at 2 o'clock on Thursday, I'm not going to answer my phone. But this keeping in touch with me is really, really important. That's one of the most important things, especially in this really quick semester where we're not meeting in person. You want to make sure that you're always somehow keeping in touch with me. So, course description. This course is designed to help you develop writing and critical thinking skills needed to prepare you for upper division work in college and entry to a career. Students often think that writing is only about grammar and word choice. These are important skills, and we will be working on them. However, we also work on your ability to collect information, evaluate it, and incorporate it into your own writing. And so we're going to talk about how to write clear and grammatically correct sentences and things like that. We're going to talk about paragraph organization and thesis and development and things like that. But also we're going to talk about how it is that we use other information to be able to help us expand our own thinking, our own ideas? How do we collect that and then kind of move forward? And I think it's an important thing to keep in mind about how important information is for human beings, for all of human society. Our society is built upon information. We are only able to do things, create any kind of technological or social improvements by taking information from other people, kind of mixing it together and coming up with something new. And so you think about how technology increases. Somebody says, you know what, I found out that if I sharpen this rock here, right, I can use it to be able to cut things, right? Oh, that's interesting. And then somebody says, wow, it's interesting how you took that sharpening of a rock and use it to cut things. What if we tied that rock to a spear? I mean, to a spear, to a stick, and then becomes a spear, right? And so somebody had one idea, they pass on to somebody else. Somebody said, you know, I'm going to take that idea, I'm going to turn it to something else. I'm going to turn it to something else. And then eventually we have armies and, you know, tanks and nuclear weapons and things like that, which causes its own problems. But in any case, the idea that all of our society is built upon taking ideas from certain people, expanding upon those ideas, adding our own ideas to those ideas, and then coming up with something new. And so that's one of the ways we're going to be thinking about some of these things. You guys are going to be reading essays, watching videos, seeing some of the ideas that we have in there, and then you're going to say, oh, that's an interesting idea. Let me add my own ideas onto that. Let me come up with something new to add to that so that we can expand upon that idea. Because that's on some level what we're trying to do here in college is we're trying to get you involved in this community of people who help generate ideas, because that's ultimately what we're trying to do. Is if you're going to be in any kind of a workplace situation, people are going to, you know, sharing ideas around. You want to add to your ideas to something so that you can somehow improve whatever it is that we're working on. And simply being a citizen in a democratic country, you should be able to say, hey, look, I've got my ideas about how things should be done. I see what other people are saying. I can add my ideas to that, and I can come up with something new, something bigger. That part here becomes really important. Your ability to collect information, evaluate it, and incorporate it into your own writing. Come up with, take ideas from other places and add to them. So there's that. We've got the course objectives. I'm not going to read through those, but those are the things that I am supposed to be moving you towards, right? All courses, all 101 courses should teach you how to, we can just look at number one quickly, summarize, analyze, and synthesize diverse readings, right? So that's why we're going to talk about some of those things, right? Why I'm going to have you summarize, analyze, and synthesize those readings. So again, that's what the course requires, and what I'm doing for the rest of this document here, the rest of this video. I realize it's actually going to be at least 3 videos because I'm taking up a lot of time here for these videos, is explaining exactly how I'm going to go about getting you through these course objectives. Required text, there's no textbook required for this course. All readings will be distributed through Blackboard. And then a note on summer classes here. As I say here, summer classes are intense. We have only 5 weeks to complete the same amount of work as we complete in a 16-week course. That is important to keep in mind. This is the same amount of work, right? This is what I have my classes doing. If we start in you know, January, late January, and go on to May, it's the same thing. I took that same schedule and I just squashed it down to 5 weeks. So things move really quickly, right? And that means assignments come very quickly, and getting just a few days behind can be disastrous. And since this is an online class, it's very easy for students to forget that their assignments due. Please, please, please log into Blackboard regularly and stick to the schedule of assignments. So that's really important. Make sure that you're always logging on. If you, you know, you should really be logging in daily. If you end up missing, don't log into Blackboard for 3 or 4 days. You're going to go, oh, wait, I'm behind. You'll see in here when I get to the schedule that we have assignments due every day during the week. And so you want to make sure you're always logging in and checking on that. Also, as I said, make sure to contact me as soon as possible if you have any questions or concerns about the class. So I mentioned up above what my phone number is, what my office hours are, what my email address is, because you want to make sure to talk to me if you have any issues at all, any questions. We can fix problems if we address them early, as I say here. But since the class moves so quickly, we might not have time to address them later, right? So make sure that you are keeping in contact with me. And then here in bold, so you know that it's important, please note to help keep us on track, all assignments will disappear 1 week after they are due. So you cannot get very far behind. 1 week is way far behind, right? If it weren't, it was probably be more confusing if they had them disappear after a couple of days. So I just chose a week, but that's way far behind. If you're a week behind, you may not be able to finish the class. So all assignments will disappear after 1 week, and so you cannot make up anything if they're over a week due. You can see my grading scale here, what constitutes an A minus, B plus, etc. All assignments are going to be worth a certain number of points, and Blackboard simply adds up those points, and that's your grade, right? So there's not a sense of, maybe he doesn't like me and that's why he's giving me this grade. This is all just a matter of, did these assignments get completed? When they get completed, Blackboard gives you a number of points for them. It adds them up, and we can say, well, that's what your grade is. And so if you're between 960 and 1,000, you get an A. Between 900 and 959, you get an A minus, and all the way down. You can see the breakdown of the assignments. We will have play posit quizzes. Play posit is the quiz that you're going to be taking when you're watching these videos. And so things will just pop up. They pop up, you answer the question, and if you answer the question correctly, then you get the number of points, and they're going to be fairly straightforward. Discussion boards and short writing assignments, I'll talk about that in just a bit, but that's all worth 250 points. 150 points for your outlines, because there'll be 3 of them at 50 points each. Rough drafts, 225 points, because there'll be 3 of them at 75 points each. Final drafts at 225, 3 of them at 75 points each. There'll be 1 AI dialogue assignment. I'll explain what that is. That's for 50 points. And then your final exam is 100 points, and that adds up to 1,000 points. So I explained what the play posit quizzes are. The discussion boards and short writing assignments. So to make sure that you have completed the readings or watched the videos that I did not create, I got a typo in there. These assignments will, so you'll have those assignments to make sure that you have read those things, watched those videos. I'll ask you to respond in some way to those. These assignments will also ensure that you have thought about the ideas presented, and I'll give you specific instruction for those when they're assigned. And then the last thing for this video, and then you'll have to switch to the next one, outlines, rough drafts, and final drafts. So there will be 3 major writing projects for this semester, right? And so for each of these assignments, you will have to complete an outline, a rough draft, and a final draft in that order. So part of what we're doing here when we're writing, I want to make sure that you are thinking about your writing. You're not just jumping in and just writing something. I don't throw you in and say, here, write something, and then tell you, oh, you didn't do it well. I want you to build up to that. And so we're going to have an outline, which is kind of a sketch of what you're going to be doing, and we'll talk about what that is. We'll have a rough draft and a final draft. They must come in that order. And then not only I say it's vital that you submit those in that order, and it's vital that you do not begin the next assignment in the sequence until the previous one has been graded. Right? So you cannot just jump in and do all of them at once. So I say, so for example, you must wait until after I have marked your outline and you have reviewed my comments before beginning your rough draft. I want your outline, I want to make sure that you're on the right track with that. I'm going to make some comments on that. Once I make those comments, then you can say, all right, now I'm ready to begin the rough draft. Similarly, you must wait until after I have marked your rough draft before beginning your final draft, right? Don't do your rough draft and then, I got some time and now I'm going to write my final draft. Do not do that. You are going to write your rough draft. I will comment on that, and I will tell you what you need to be thinking about for your final draft. So make sure you do that. I will give you very specific instructions on that. And I say you must follow this sequence even if it means submitting assignments late. And any assignment submitted out of sequence will receive a 1 grade. And I'll talk about what that is in just a second, what the 1 grade is. Basically, the 1 grade means you need to talk to me and possibly redo the assignment. And then I say the specific requirements for each component will be distributed and discussed well before the assignments are due. So there are specific requirements you'll have for those assignments, but when I give you those assignments, I'll tell you what those are. We'll go ahead and stop now, and you can go to the next video, and we'll continue on with explaining the policies.